Guitarist Ace Frehley, one of the founding members of the rock group Kiss, has died. He was 74.
For more than 5 decades, Ace Frehley wasn't just a guitarist. He was a symbol. The man behind the silver makeup, the spaceman of Kiss, and the sound that launched 1,000 riffs. On October 16, 2025, the world lost him forever. At 74, Ace passed away at Morristown Medical Center in New Jersey after complications from a traumatic brain injury. It happened just weeks earlier when he slipped and fell inside his recording studio. Doctors performed emergency surgery, but his condition never improved. For 3 weeks, his family stayed by his side. His daughter Monique, his ex-wife Jeanette, refusing to give up hope. But on that quiet October morning, Ace took his final breath, ending a story that had electrified generations. His passing hit the music world hard. But what stunned fans most were the words that came afterward, from Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, the very men who once pushed him out of Kiss. For years, the relationship had been strained, sometimes publicly hostile. Yet now, Paul called Ace irreplaceable, a core part of Kiss's first chapter. Gene went further. No one could have done what Ace did. It was the first time either had spoken with such honesty, and fans immediately understood. This was more than a tribute. It was a confession. For the first time in decades, the walls of ego, conflict, and business came down. After Ace's death, Kiss's social media changed their profile picture to his 1977 spaceman avatar. The first time in over 20 years his image had been used unaltered. The words "Forever Spaceman" filled the homepage. Paul personally ordered that every Kiss archive, every remaster, every cover that once erased Ace's name be restored. Even the live version of "Shock Me," with his original guitar solo, was re-uploaded in full. It was as if they were rewriting history, finally admitting who had given Kiss its original soul. Ace's story with the band was never simple. When he joined Kiss in 1973, he was different. Mismatched shoes, a beat-up guitar, and an attitude no one could fake. He created the spaceman persona himself, turning a simple costume into a legend. His solos in songs like "Cold Gin," "Shock Me," and "Rocket Ride" weren't technical showpieces. They were alive, unpredictable, raw. He was the wild heart in a band that, over time, became a polished machine. But that same freedom clashed with Paul and Gene's strict control. By the early 80s, the tension boiled over. Ace felt ignored, left out of decisions, and tired of being treated like an outsider in the group he helped build. In 1982, he left, and Kiss changed forever. Even after his departure, Ace's shadow lingered. He went solo, built his own sound, and refused to be anyone's copy. In the years that followed, there were reunions, breakdowns, and lawsuits over the spaceman character itself. Paul and Gene replaced him on stage, but fans never accepted it. They could put someone in his makeup, but not in his place. In every reunion, the tension returned. By 2002, it was over for good. Yet even when they didn't speak, they couldn't escape each other. Kiss without Ace felt complete only in appearance, never in spirit. For all his chaos, the addictions, the late arrivals, the stubborn independence, Ace remained what fans loved most: authentic. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He was trying to be real. When he played, it felt like lightning in a bottle. Spontaneous, flawed, but unforgettable. Guitarists from Pearl Jam's Mike McCready to Rob Zombie's John 5 have said the same thing. Ace made them pick up a guitar, not because he was the fastest, but because he was free. In the end, that's what he left behind. Freedom. The freedom to sound different, to look strange, to be unapologetically yourself. That was the essence of Kiss in its earliest days, before the fame, before the business, when it was just 4 guys and a dream to be louder than anyone else. Ace was that dream's pulse, Now, with his passing, an era is truly over. Kiss may go on in name, but the band that began in a smoky New York basement in 1973 is gone. Still, somewhere, his riffs echo. In every garage band learning "Shock Me", in every young musician daring to be weird, in every fan who still believes rock and roll should be wild. Ace Frehley's story wasn't about perfection. It was about rebellion, laughter, chaos, and music that didn't care what anyone thought. And that, more than any costume, more than any pyrotechnics, is what made him eternal. If you ever found yourself strumming an imaginary guitar to one of his solos, or staring up at a stage lit in purple and silver lights, then you've already felt his legacy. Because Ace didn't just play the spaceman. He was one, forever orbiting somewhere just beyond the edge of rock and roll.